Cyberpunk 2077 has had less of an ideal launch. So much so that not too long ago, after making this video, the Cyberpunk Twitter account posted that following our discussion with PlayStation, a decision was made to temporarily suspend digital distribution of Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store. Now you can still buy physical versions of the game, and all purchases that have been and will be made will still get, support and so on. But currently, due to the shitty performance that it has on PlayStation, especially last-gen consoles and also some PC hardware, with bugs, not being able to play, unrealistic frames, the game running like absolutely dog shit, and much, much more, they have had to disable it in the PlayStation Store. But I want to talk about the other thing, and that is a little bit about why this isn't just Cyberpunk's fault. Now, hello, my beautiful and lovely gamers. Of course, as always, my name is Jonal. I'm a small content creator, so a like on the video greatly helps out. Your discussions, thoughts, opinions, everything down that comment section. I'm blessed with being so small that I can still read every single comment, and I do, and I will heart some of the best comments that I see down there. I found one that's really good. I might even pin it. So doing that, greatly appreciated. I love reading all your thoughts and opinions of different people. I'm going to be a little bit of devil's advocate here, so please just listen to what I have to say first before anybody drops hate comments, as this has some strong opinions. What I'm about to say is a little bit controversial. Of course, subscribing to the channel is also greatly appreciated. It helps the channel grow. So doing that is very much appreciated. It helps me turn from a small content creator to a little bit bigger content creator. Thank you guys so much. My Twitter, Twitch, and also the community Discord, link down in the description if you want an amazing gaming community to hang with. Now, let's talk about this. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the, again, to be clear, the performance that Cyberpunk has been doing is borderline false advertisement and selling an incomplete product. It is not acceptable in any way, sense, or form, and should not have happened. We can all agree on that. However, I also want to talk a little bit about how we came to this and why it is also our fault. When CD Projekt Red announced the first release date of many of Cyberpunk, they would have to delay that, and they would have to delay it again and again and again. And when they delayed it, a lot of people got mad. They tried to cancel pre-orders. They said that, gonna boycott the game because the developer said, hey, this doesn't run as it's supposed to. We have taken too much. We have put too much in our mouth that we are able to chew. We need more time on this. They went around saying that, and when they did, the gaming community got outraged over the fact that they could delay a game. Every time I heard, I was like, oh, great, yeah, I'm playing my games, I'm waiting for Cyberpunk to come out, when it does, it's probably gonna be dope, but I wanted to give it the time that it needed to improve. I didn't mind if they delayed it, because as somebody that is a fucking software developer, I understand that when they say they need to delay it, there's probably a fucking good reason. They're not doing it just for fun. But that wasn't everybody's opinions, and it was so bad that their stock took a hit. And at that point, I'm not, again, it's still completely unacceptable. They should not have listened to the community. They should have given the game far more time. It is very clear that they took a very ambitious title and a very ambitious game, which is incredibly complex, and they have tried their best to work with that. But it's very, very difficult implementing all the features, the dialogue option, the different branches, the graphics, the interaction, the modifications, the different weapons, the attachment, the animations, everything added together is incredibly complex to build. Now, that doesn't excuse that it's not running and that they essentially have been selling a broken product to so many people. That is not... that doesn't justify, how amazing the game be, and how the complexity of it, and how difficult it would be to make a game like this. All of that is, of course, something they need to look at, but it is not justified for selling a product that is a sham. But at the same time, we kind of forced their hand a little bit, and I think that's important to remember. That Again, one, this is not the developer's fault. Like, it's not the guy that's made the game. This is publishers, CEOs, and so on that decided that it's time to push this out. We need to get our, see return of our investment. We need to keep the hype going. Whatever financial decision they made, maybe they ran out of cash to develop the game. Who knows? Like, they would, for some reason, they decided that now we launch it. This was not in the hands of the developers. I am 100% sure that the developers probably said, but it doesn't work here. We haven't reached these benchmarks yet. This and that and that and this, because I've seen it myself when I worked in tech. And when I've talked to other people in the industry, that this happens from time to time, where you sit there as a developer and you just get, hey, fix this or make this, and you're like, okay, that's kind of difficult. We can't just do it. And then some executive just says, oh, just do it. Just make that. And you're like, okay. And then you start making it, and then they try to push it early. They're like, hey, does it work? And you say, no, it doesn't. But you don't have any control. It is your boss's bosses that has the control of what happens. And they don't have the technical know-how, understanding of what's going on. They see the game and says, okay, is this, runnable, is this playable? They will give them some benchmarks. They will tell them, this is what we can, reach here and here and here. And then some CEO or some marketing or some board of directors will make that decision to send it out. It's not the developer's fault. First of all, I am 100% sure that the amount of passion that we have seen in this game, the amount of passion that has gone through the game design of this, 100% not the fucking developers. They have put so much love and care, and they have done so much crunch time on it that, there is no way that it's their fault. And no way that they wanted this. And now that's very important to remember. And second, also look at ourselves and say, hey, we kind of forced their hand, or at least we pushed them towards that decision of releasing it earlier than what it might have had, because every single time they dropped their release date, people got really mad when they extended them, and that is just stupid, in my opinion. I was scared that something like this was going to happen, but I also trusted CD Projekt Red when they said, now we're going to launch the game after delaying it so many times. I took that as, okay, now they're finally done. Not as we don't want to extend the deadline one more time, which is clearly what they should have done. And that's what I want to talk about. Cyberpunk 2077, it is not acceptable to release a game at launch in the state that it is, especially on previous gen consoles. At that point, you should just have taken out the previous gen console. I understand that financially is not something that they wanted to do, but that might have been the decision to make. Or do something else, if that is a graphical downgrade, or I don't care, anything really, and be transparent about how it would look or perform on those consoles. That's of course something. Or say that, potentially, remove the hype and sell it later on the PS4, keep it on current gen, develop it and fix it to previous gen, and then sell it in previous gen. I think that would have been the smart decision. Clearly, they gambled on the fact that it might be running better. Again, probably not a dev's words and what a dev wanted to. Probably something that a marketing director or someone on the board of directors said, hey, let's push this out now for all gens, even though the development team probably knew that this was going to happen. And I think that that's important to remember. It is unacceptable, but one, we kind of forced their hands, and two, it is not the people that actually worked on the game's fault. It is actually the people that is in charge of releasing that, and therefore, I think that is just important to remember when Twitter and Reddit and whoever goes on a very angry spree of finding out who the fuck scammed them out of their money. That we remember like what actually was the core issues and why it is not as transparent or black and white, at least, as it maybe should be. It's not everybody at CD Projekt Red, and that's really what I just want to talk about in this game. And again, I love the game. I'm gonna play it more. I'm luckily that I'm on PC, and PC runs better than what it does in consoles, but it's still not like super performant, and still a lot of bugs and so on, which is it's understandable with the complexity of the game. I get a headache even thinking about how some of the complexity is built up. Like, I seriously, as somebody that does system developing, I get a headache having to figure how much shit is connected to each other and needs to stay connected while other stuff is happening in the background, and I just get overwhelmed mentally to even think how this even is, how the structure of the game is even built as a program. It's fucking impressive. Way more impressive than any multiplayer title that you have ever seen, or even on most single player games, due to how much shit is happening at the same time, at the quality it is happening, with the detail that is happening. But that's all for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Greatly helps out the channel. Tell me what you guys think down in that comment section below. Please do take care of yourself. It's important that you take care of others as well, of course, but make sure that you also focus a little bit on yourself. Wear a mask, wash your hands, remember to tell somebody that you love them. As always, my name has been Jonal, and you guys keep the enemy in your crosshair.